What's really good, posters? I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Louder. This is the Hit List, the unofficial official power rankings for the challenge season 35 Total Madness. Tyler, what's good with you, man?
Now that those technical difficulties are over, I'm ready to talk challenge. This isn't. I love Wednesday nights. I love Wednesday nights.
Absolutely. It looks like Zoom made some changes that didn't really go good with OBS, but here we are a little late, but we back on it. How you feeling, man? How did you feel about this second episode?
I think it was toned back a little bit from the premiere. The premiere was so hype and there was so much going on. I think this episode was all about the drama, all about the trash talk. It's not that it was bad. It just the energy level was a lot lower.
All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the hit list. How you breaking it up this week?
We got 27, counting Jen. So let's just go top nine, next nine, bottom nine.
So that's going to be 27 to 19.
Yep, and then 18 to 10.
All right. So at 27, we got Jen eliminated. 26, Jenna. 25, Nelson. 24, Melissa. 23, Casey. 22, Kayla. 21, Maddie. 20, Anissa. 19, Big T. Now, one of the things that I noticed the most about everybody in the basement right now is we pretty much haven't seen any camera time for them at all.
No, nothing, and that's the biggest issue right here. And it's not that it's all the women or anything like that. It's just like the storyline. The storyline has been featured around 3 or 4 women, and now if you remember a couple weeks ago, we talked about this. This cast for the females isn't very strong, and we kind of think about why it's not very strong. Well, I mean, Casey, she's new, doesn't deliver a lot of drama. Jenna doesn't deliver drama because Zach's not there.
Or Amanda.
Amanda, yeah. For some reason, Kayla and Melissa's fight has been scrapped for the first 2 episodes. We're not even talking about this. That's the last time they were here when they fought on Final Reckoning. And, it's just showing all these ladies that aren't getting enough coverage. And it's all because D is getting highlighted right here. D is becoming top tier of the challenge in their eyes. Production likes her, and they're just putting these ladies at the back end. So unfortunately, they're stuck there.
All right. Since there's only one person we could really talk about that's going to be in the basement, that's going to be Big T. Big T got a little bit of camera time. I think the challenge really wanted to showcase how much heart that she had and how bad she wanted to go in and pretty much clear up anything that we saw from the last time she was here. I think she's eager to go out there and kick some ass and prove that she deserves to be here. What's your take on Big T?
I like her. I like what she's delivering this season. I think everybody had this perception of her last season, and it wasn't a good one. It was all negative. And as soon as she was gone, everybody was like, oh, see, we told you, even though she went up against Georgia in elimination. I think Big T is more of a player than we give her credit for. She's not afraid, as it sounds, to go against anybody. She doesn't care. She just wants to prove herself. And somebody that's that hungry at the bottom can fight their way up.
Absolutely. I don't think we've seen the best of Big T, and I think that she's only going to be able to bring more in the future. So hopefully she gets we get to see her in action pretty soon. Let's go ahead and take a look at the mid tier. Mid tier is going to be a lot more interesting. All right, so at number 18, we have Bailey, 17 Ashley, 16 Nani, 15 Swaggy, 14 Bear, 13 Josh, 12 Kyle, 11 Jay, and Tori at number 10.
Yeah, so before you talk about this, let's give a disclaimer real quick, because I know a lot of people are going to be in uproar and they're going to be like, oh, my favorite had a really good week and they got to be number one. My power rankings carry from week to week. It's just like a real sport. Just because somebody was great last week and bad this week doesn't mean I'm going to drop them number 26. So they have movement here.
All right, let's talk about some of the movement.
Okay.
And I just want to let you know, you are wild disrespectful. Why is Queen Bailey drop a spot and is now at 18?
Here's the thing. I think I was very generous to Bailey because I feel like Bailey didn't give us a lot this episode compared to last week. I feel like I started off really high, considering she's a rookie, has no storyline, nothing. And, she didn't get a lot of camera time. However, when she did get her interviews, I liked what I heard. I liked what I saw. She got a lot of fire in her. and I expect bigger things in the future. Just for this week, she
Okay.
couldn't really jump or anything.
Well, I really see what you're saying there, and I really think you're full of shit. Because D was a major part of the battle between D and Jen. And she was there trying to, women should, support each other. And she had a major role in that. How come that was completely dismissed when you got an Ashley sitting above her?
Ashley fell. Okay, here's who you need to blame. If you're gonna blame anybody, if you think about it, Bailey would have stayed where she was, which means she didn't do terrible, didn't do great. She was
And she did good in the daily.
She did good, but a lot of people did good. 9 people did great. A lot of people did good. Here's the thing: if you want to blame anybody, blame Swaggy. He was in the top 3 of his team, and because of that, he leapfrogged her in the power rankings, which automatically moved her down one. If anything, it's Swaggy's fault and not my fault.
That is the absolute worst excuse ever. Let's go. And speaking of Swaggy, let's talk about your number 15 spot, Swaggy C. We actually got to see him. We got to see him talk. In my opinion, he brought a wonderful energy when it came to dropping the bombs, and he found himself in the tribunal. But you have him at number 15, so it doesn't really make sense. You got a guy in the tribunal. You got a guy who won the daily, who was in the tribunal, got some camera time, but you bumped him all the way down to number 15. Keep in mind. Okay, go ahead.
He moved up 11 spots. That's a huge move.
Should have been huger. That's not a word. But it could have been.
I know what you mean. Yeah, that's how absurd it is. No, I know what you're saying. But for me, I don't normally move people up that high. But he went from having no camera time, except for being in the background, no interviews, nothing on the daily, to winning, having interviews, being in the tribunal, having camera time. So he got 11 spot jump. That's a huge jump.
That's the most movement out of everybody else on this list. Now, I'm assuming that this is an average of everything that Swaggy was able to bring to the table today.
Yeah, and another reason why he didn't move up more, which he could have, is because he was in the tribunal, but D and Corey were the majority. They already said everything they needed to say.
They were, but I felt like his voice was heard. He was talking to Jenny. What are you going to do for me? He played it better this time around than Corey did his first time in the tribunal.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. I agree 100%, which is why he got such a big jump, because he stepped out and he was acting as if it wasn't his first rodeo.
Okay. I want to ask you about this, but I feel like I don't want the answer.
Ooh, you can talk about Josh?
You know I was going to talk about Josh. He's sitting above Swaggy. He did do good in the daily. And actually, now, no surprise, not a huge fan of Josh. But he kind of went hard in the daily. He was helping as a teammate. He had a really good attitude. And I'm actually kind of surprised. I'm used to him crying or having a shitty attitude or getting in the face with people who he knows can beat him up. And I was just like, all right, Josh, what are some of the reasons that made you put him towards the top of the mid-tier?
So what it was for me is if he's growing on me, first of all, like I'm becoming a fan of him slowly. He sounded like a veteran. Like he was like, all right, here's my team. That's all right. All right, let's do the best we can. Like it was completely opposite of like what CT or Bananas would say if they have a bad team, Like these older vets, like they'd be like, oh, all right, here we go, last place. Here's the thing: if Josh was on a team of 3 and not a team of 2, because Jen was just there to wear makeup, if he was on a team of 3, they might have won, because they got like 9 to 10 with him carrying about 2 each time. She was kind of helping, but he was carrying 150% where everybody else was doing 100%. So that's what it was. It was so impressive. He carried himself very well. He didn't come off as a crybaby, and I just thought he's growing as a challenger, and that's what I liked.
I would actually agree with you. I spent a good amount of my podcasting career just bashing Josh. That's the first day he came in. And I was pretty impressed. I was liking what I saw. I'm thinking he's maturing to be quite a competitor. So we'll see.
I have a theory on that.
Hit me.
I have a feeling that if you remember the reunion, him and Wes buried this hatchet, because Wes is all about what's in the game is in the game, what's out of the game is out of the game.
Right. Definitely a class move.
I think he's been talking to Wes. I think Wes has been just kind of like, because think about this. We all know these vets. A lot of these vets stay away from these guys. Wes is one of those guys that like dips his hands in all the rookies and is like, hey, I'm gonna help you be better because eventually
Bananas
I'm
does the
gonna
same
retire.
thing if it's a female.
That's different though. He's dipping his hands for his own personal pleasure. But hey, we don't need to talk about it because he's in a healthy relationship right now, and they do look like a cute couple. I saw an Instagram post today. So.
They do. I do like them both together. Before we move into the top 10, let's talk about your number 11 spot. Jay got himself a red skull. From what most people seen of him on the show, he seems to be well liked. Completely disappeared this episode. No chest puffing, no making moves. What happened to Jay? We don't know. He was just completely not featured at all.
If the challenge didn't do a recap, we wouldn't have seen him because he did a recap. We saw all about him, and then he got the first interview, and then it was like, all right, guys, I'll be back later to vote. And then when they did the voting, he was the last vote. They almost didn't even show him. Like they were like, he was like, oh yeah, me too. Like, count my vote, please.
The only reason why they showed him is just to show how almost unanimous it was that Jen was going in.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those times where this episode was more about the females and Rogan and Wes, and then all the other males just kind of took a backseat.
All right, let's go ahead and break it to the top tier. Starting at number 9, we have CT dropping 6 spots, Bananas in the same exact spot, Jordan at number 7, Fessy at number 6, Wes making a huge leap up at number 5, Rogan 4, Corey 3, D 2, Jenny 1. Now that is a very interesting top 3 because I'm pretty sure the top 3, the 1, 2, and 3 spots last week was a 2, 3, 4 spots. So that's very interesting. Let's go ahead and talk about Bananas. Bananas made kind of a jump. He actually came with some funny jokes this time,
Yep.
Poking Jordan a little bit. Why did you feel that it was necessary to move him up 4 spots, though?
Jordan?
I'm sorry. Jordan got moved up 4 spots. Even though his team won, they got into the top 3 of the daily. We just seen him kind of be a baby about it.
I think we did, and I honestly think that there is twice as much interview time out there that we didn't get to see, and the edit was to make him seem like a poor sport. Now, I'm not saying he wasn't a poor sport, but I'm saying I'm sure there were other things said, and they were like, now let's take all this stuff, and let's get this. Because, I mean, if you saw Twitter tonight, it was crazy skyrocketing of Jordan's a poor sport, and he doesn't win everything, blah, blah. And you know what? I want him to be a poor sport. Like, he's arrogant. He's a rooster. Why should he act like a chicken when he's a rooster? Like, he should be confident at all times, in my opinion. So when he's a poor sport.
Okay, well, Tyler's working on that. We're going to go ahead and move up to the number 5 spot, Wes. Now, I'm not 100% sure why Wes moved up so high into the number 5 spot, but I don't think just coaching a former protege and getting them to not make the right move at the end of the game, even though they didn't know that that's what it was going to be, I don't think that was enough to really move them up. And, hey, welcome back. I was just talking about Wes. Well, looks like we seem to keep running into technical difficulties. So, right, let's go ahead and close it out. We get into this top 10 later on. Make sure you check us out this morning. Love Word Challenges on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple and Google Podcasts. Once again, I am MTV Malik. He is Tyler Louder. This is The Hit List. Good night.